The WWII survival tools civilians built, still smarter than your bug-out bag. When the bombs fell and the lights went out, survival wasn't just for soldiers. Across Europe and beyond, ordinary civilians became accidental engineers, forced to invent their own lifelines out of whatever they could scavenge. Forget the sleek survival kits and tactical gear influencers brag about today. These wartime innovators built life-saving tools from kettles, curtains, and bicycle scraps. Their resourcefulness didn't just keep them alive, it redefined what human ingenuity looks like under pressure. And here's the truth. Some of their improvised hacks could still outsmart even the most expensive bug-out bag today. World War II was more than tanks, trenches and uniforms. Behind every blackout curtain and rationed loaf of bread, civilians were waging their own war. One of endurance, adaptation and invention. With supply chains broken and cities in ruins, survival wasn't about having the best gear. It was about making the best of what you had. Mothers, mechanics and market vendors became unsung innovators, crafting everything from makeshift gas masks to homemade water filters. While soldiers fought on the front lines, civilians were battling scarcity and chaos with creativity. Their homes became workshops, their kitchens, laboratories, their minds, the real survival toolkits. When fuel vanished and roads became rubble, mobility meant improvisation. In bombed-out cities, some civilians turned bicycles into hybrids, half bike, half cart, using salvaged metal, old pram wheels and timber boards to carry food, coal or even wounded neighbours. These bicycle cars weren't pretty, but they kept people moving when cars were useless relics. Shoes, another rare commodity, became a survival puzzle. Civilians stretched the life of worn-out soles by patching them with rubber from discarded tires or even bits of linoleum flooring. It wasn't fashion, it was function. Each repaired sole was a statement. We're not giving up. And for parents, survival meant protection. Some built gas-proof prams from spare glass panels, oilcloth and hand-pumped filters, crude yet life-saving capsules for infants in case of chemical attack. The ingenuity was chillingly brilliant, a blend of parental instinct and wartime engineering. When official supplies ran dry, civilians learned to make the air itself safer. Homemade gas masks became common. Cloth soaked in vinegar or activated charcoal stuffed into tin cans with straps made from belts. Crude, absolutely. But when fear filled every breath, people turned desperation into design. Blackout curtains were another form of quiet resistance. Civilians covered their windows with layers of newspaper and blankets to keep enemy planes from spotting city lights. Others went a step further, painting false windows and facades on destroyed buildings to deceive reconnaissance aircraft. These weren't soldiers with camouflage nets. They were civilians armed with brushes, glue, and an unyielding will to survive. Survival isn't just about food and shelter, it's about dignity. Amid the rubble, civilians found ingenious ways to maintain hygiene and health. With soap scarce, people mixed ash with fat to make crude cleansers. When water sources were contaminated, they boiled water through layered cloth or improvised charcoal filters. First aid became a matter of household chemistry. Vinegar doubled as an antiseptic, salt as a disinfectant, and sugar was packed onto wounds to prevent infection. In kitchens turned clinics, people rediscovered what modern survivalists now market as natural remedies. The line between desperation and brilliance blurred, and in that blur, resilience was reborn. Every candle flicker in a blackout was a small act of defiance. Every improvised filter or mended shoe was a whisper of survival. Civilians learned to adapt in real time, hacking their environments long before life hacks became a trend. Their world was fragile, but their creativity was indestructible. This invisible frontline of ingenuity reminds us that the greatest survival gear isn't what you buy, it's what you build. Today's prepper kits, with their solar flashlights and tactical pens, owe more to these forgotten tinkerers than most realize. The truth is, resilience doesn't come in a package. It comes from necessity, grit, and a refusal to quit. What can we learn from them? Well, that survival isn't about stockpiling, it's about skill. Those World War II civilians didn't have bug-out bags. They had broken umbrellas, spare wire, and really the will to innovate. In a crisis, that mindset can outlast any gadget. Modern preppers could take notes from history's forgotten innovators. Learn how to purify water without fancy filters, fix gear with scraps, and honestly, find calm in chaos. Because when the modern world fails, it's not the tools you own, it's the ingenuity you command that keeps you alive. The resilience of those civilians wasn't just practical, it was emotional armor. They built solutions out of scarcity, comfort out of fear, and hope out of debris. Their stories remind us that survival is not about the strength of your equipment, but the creativity of your spirit. So, next time you see a survival video or gear review, remember this. Long before hashtags and bug-out bags, ordinary people were crafting miracles from scrap. Their inventions weren't polished or pretty, but they worked. They kept humanity alive when the world seemed determined to end it. These are the forgotten engineers of endurance, the ones who turned chaos into craft and scarcity into invention. Their survival tools might be lost to history, but their lesson is timeless. Human ingenuity will always be our best defense. If you loved uncovering this hidden side of World War II, don't forget to subscribe to the Forgotten Warfronts and share this story. Because sometimes the greatest battles weren't fought with weapons, they were won with imagination.